Hello everybody, my name is Average Election Enjoyer. Today is January 6th of 2026. I'd like to wish everybody watching this video a happy new year. And I just am excited that I'm going to be able to continue making this content for you guys, and I appreciate all the support I've gotten, and I will of course and try to put my best foot forward here with these videos. Make them better and better each video to give you guys the best information that I can. And today's video is going to be on today's special elections, which we saw in 5 states, which were Arkansas, Connecticut, Georgia, Virginia, and South Carolina. Those are the 5 states that we saw elections in today. So I'll get on with this video. So to start it, we have the elections in Arkansas, and they weren't elections, they were in fact primaries. For Senate District 26, we had the Republican special election primary, Wade Doon taking out the victory with Brad Simon behind him. Both of them are going to be moving on, I believe, with Alex Holiday taking out the Democratic primary here. As you can see, sorry, this is two different. So for the Republicans here, moving on for this for the state Senate district, for House District 70, Alex Holiday will be moving on. 805 votes in this primary with 6,000 coming in. However, this is a state Senate seat versus a House district, so you'll see less turnout in these seats as they're just smaller districts. So for the first election, we have Connecticut, House District 25, where you can see Democrats hold a major partisan advantage over Republicans, and they would extend this margin with this special election of State House 25. Ira Sanchez winning 66-33 against Jamie Vaughn, 356 to 181 for a total turnout of 537. As this is a state house seat, smaller districts, but extremely low turnout in this election. As you can see, they have the special elections here, has not yet been updated. We go to 2024. This was a presidential election, so you'll see significantly higher turnout. Bobby Sanchez 70.1 to Jamie Vaughan. It appears that this is actually like maybe father-daughter, some sort of family relation. Let's see here. It should have. It doesn't say any sort of connection. Just interesting that they have last names are the same. However, Bobby Sanchez, 3,614 to Jamie Vaughan, 1,543 for a total of 5,157. This is in 2024, and you can see that Democrats actually perform better in 2024, and that is a theme that we will see today. Is a little bit of the lack of the Democratic success that we've really been seeing this year. Not that Democrats did terribly by any means, but didn't do see. And again, Bobby Sanchez overperformed in this midterm election, and in 2020 it was redistricted. So you can see Democrats actually underperformed their margins, and this is going to be a theme today. This is the Republicans' best day since the elections of the presidential elections of 2024. This is their best day by far. A bit of a New Year's gift, as one might think of. And that is what happened here. So Democrats underperforming in this special election, very low turnout special election for the first time in a while. Here we have Georgia State House 23 runoff. Bill Fincher taking out Scott Sanders 71.4 to 28.6, a big margin for the Republican in this race, 4,345 to 1,742. And if we go back, sorry, I didn't break down the Connecticut district. This is just for information outside of New Britain, Lower Poland, and it's a suburban seat, so Democrats, very safe Democrat seat here. Democrats have, as I said, very safe seat for them, and it's going to be a seat that they will likely hold for the future. And as you can see here, if it'll so kindly, let's see, appears the website is having some problems here, um, showing the district. So I guess we'll just have to move on. Yeah, it's not showing us any of its surroundings, which is interesting. But regardless, the show must go on. So you can see this was the first general special election before that caused the runoff with Fincher and Sanders each getting in. 2024 seat was uncontested here. 2022 uncontested, and then back further uncontested. So this was the first time Democrats have contested this race in a while, and they got 1,700 votes, which is not amazing, but again, almost getting 30% of an uncontested seat is not terrible. This is how you get your foot in the door if you're the Democrats. This has been a year of Democrats really focusing on these smaller races. So this is, if they want to continue with that strategy, this is a good step to continue that if you're a Democrat. And Republicans, of course, you can be satisfied with this result, as this was a very solid performance by Bill Fincher here. This is the biggest, most competitive race of the day, South Carolina House District 98. Greg Ford taking out the victory over Sandra Ogletree-Satani here by only 21 votes in a 3,435 vote election here, 50.3 to 49.7. There will be a recount on this race, which is assured, but it's likely that Greg Ford will be taking out the victory in this one. This was a very close race. As you can see here, Murphy defeated Sonia Ogletree-Santani, who was the challenger in this one in 2024 by 57-43 margin. So this was a overperformance by the Democrats, similar to what we've been seeing, turning a 14-point margin of race into less than a point here, 0.6. So this was a significant overperformance by the Democrat in this race. However, this hold is major for the Republicans, as it just served to keep their margin in the South Carolina House. And this is just an example that Republicans can in fact win these close, gritty races, even if they shouldn't be as close as they are. Again, this adds to the Republicans' good, I would say, best day since 2024. If we go back here, we could see that this seat, for some reason, it's actually showing, so this is actually nice. As you can see, it's has Asheboro, Oakboro. It's a somewhat not suburban, but it has just homes on it. It's not a super urban seat. However, it is still a red leaning seat, most definitely. This is what it used to look like, and this is after the 2020 redistricting cycle. And as you can see, if we go back to 2024, 56.9 to 42.9, so 57-43 margin here for Chris Murphy. We go back to 22, 57-42. So this, the trend has been going for Democrats here. Of course, the big thing to remember is that this is a special election, and Democrats have held the advantage in these special elections here. This appears they actually haven't even called the race yet, so this is how you know there's going to be a recount. Very close election, very exciting election. Really well ran campaign by Satani here to really bring this closer, and also on the back of Democratic support in these special elections to make this that margin really close. And so this was a fairly good result by the Democrats. If they won, that would have been really good. So Republicans holding this again just adds to them having a fairly good day. However, it was still an overperformance by the Democrat. So if you're a Democrat, you can see this performance as still promising. The next seat that I'm going to be talking about, Virginia State Senate 15, their special election. General Michael Jones taking out John Thomas, 69.9 to 30.1, 11,621 to 4,997, with a total turnout of 16,618 here. As you can see, fairly good result by the Democrat. This is a blue seat, getting part on the outskirts of Richmond, with Manchester and several communities in here. So this is a fairly Democratic seat, and it has been since 2020. So you can see in 2023, Hashmi, who is now she just recently ran, and I believe she won deputy general, I believe, or a position like that. She was one of the three who swept Virginia earlier this year, or last year actually, sorry, who was part of the Democratic trio along with Jay Jones and of course Abigail Spanberger. So the Democrats retained their seat. As you can see, 2023 for this one, much larger turnout, 53,000. We go back to 2026, only 16,000. So again, but another Democratic overperformance, 62 to 69. Republicans falling from 37 to 30% of the vote, and then after that, it was redistricted because these it appears only elects every 6 years normally. However, this was, of course, or maybe 4 years, but this was a special election as it was vacated. And then for the final election here, Virginia House of Delegates 77 special election. General Charlie Schmidt taking out Richard Stonehenge 79.5 to 20.5. As you can see, this is another seat, very blue, just outside of Richmond. Almost similar area. As you see, the other district was somewhere down there. So this is very close to the other district. So again, blue area. As you can see, this is the same results. Okay, so Michael Jones, this is in 2025. So there was a election here in 2025. Michael Jones 71.4 to Richard Stonehenge Jr. 28.6. And that is a improvement on the Democratic margins, who went from 71.4 to 28.6 to 79.5 to 20.5. So takeaways from this day is, and of course, sorry, just to do the total votes, 7,203 to 17,448. See, in 2023, it was uncontested, and in 2021, Democrats won 61.1 to 38.6. So in the past, more competitive for Republicans. However, in recent time, this seat has flipped very blue, especially in these special elections, where you see mostly high-propensity voters coming out for the Democratic Party. So, takeaways from this day. Republicans had their best day since 2024. They were able to hold a very close race. Even though Democrats gained a lot of ground in the special election, they were able to hold the seat. And also, in other seats, they were able to keep the margins down from others past special elections where you saw more than double-digit Democratic overperformances. You saw those getting held down in some of these special elections. However, you do see Democrats continuing to overperform in Virginia. Really, the Virginia GOP is really getting shelled in a lot of these elections, and that helps with Virginia being a state that has a lot of federal employees. Not the biggest fan of Trump's policies with DOGE. So Virginia really is turning against the Republican Party here, and that is just a trend that continues. However, in some of these other elections, Republicans were more holding their own than they have been. So, final, I guess, summary, Republicans doing fairly well today, but Democrats still overperforming as is expected from these past trends, but this was the best day for Republicans as of thus far. They were able to hold their own the most as compared to past special elections. So I'd like to wish you guys a fantastic new year, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.